Just did a 9-minute video, wasn't happy with it. Let's do it basic. Inside a Chaldean, Chaldean counts to a maximum of 8. The actual count in Pythagorean is 9 to the high count. The actual dice cube is a 9 count, but the maximum you'll get on any dice is 1 going through 6. Once that 1 goes through 6, you'll have these two spots empty. Or 1 goes through 6 and you have these two spots empty. Either you have 4 and 6 empty, or 2 and 8. Cycle of the moon, or the half-life. 4 and 6, the half-life. It keeps running into each other. 2 guided perfect masses turn this stick, turn both of these, turn both of these. They run off this side, they run off this side, and then this one runs off some system up over here. And then there's a tail that goes out and comes back to the main core. But we don't want to talk about this. We're going to go back to Chaldean. Let's just count in Chaldean. By the way, I like to do everything in Pythagorean. Everything in numbers and then Pythagorean. Mighty Messer crisscrosses everything. If I would crisscross all my colors, if I would crisscross my yellow and my blue, I would end up working in green. There is no red to begin with. I like to mix my 1 and my 2. My 1 and my 2. If I mix my 1 and my 2, and 1, okay, is 7, and 2, 7, this would be 3 and 14, and that would be the beginning of pi. At the same time, 1 and 2 come together, you would have 3, 5, electric company, or you don't change it and you keep it at 3, 7. It automatically creates the gateway. We get both numbers because 1 and 2 must come together. 1 and 2 must come together. So everything has to be based on 1 and 2, and we're not going to talk about binary. This will create 15 and 8. 3 times 5, 15. 3 plus 5, 8. 8 minus 15 will then create 7 and 23, which will create 7 and 5. And that numeric value calculates to building of the moon. So I like to do basically A is the first letter, Z is the 26th letter. Then I jump in and I play around with Pythagorean, bring everything to a single count. At the same time, I like to show the reverse value, that if A is the first value, then A is the 26th value. At the same time, I do this very rare, that I start A as the 11th value, not starting at 10, starting at 11A, 1 and 1. Okay, they do the same thing in Gematria when they split M1 and N1. The 14th letter and the 13th letter, 4 and 5, M and N. They split it. Then Mars becomes the O, NO. This is the beginning of pi. So I like to do it this way because if I mixed all my colors up, I'd end up with another color. So I don't want to mix really more than 2 colors to get my third color. Or I can add white all the time. So we're going to go with 1. When I write 1, it's the O is the 7th in Chaldean. The N is the 5 in Chaldean. The E is the 5 in Chaldean. And we get the word 10, 17, or the word egg. 17 for the queen, and that is your Jack hookup gateway to the 7th gate. I never really sure if I should use it as 1 or just use it at binary Venus, because it's in the 2nd position, and binary in the 2nd position represents 2. In the 3rd position, it'll represent 4. Okay. In the 7th position, if we want to use it as to positions in tic-tac-toe and go, this is the 7th position, 7 letters, do we use binary 7? 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Equals to the day, equals to the X. But we're not going to get into that. When I do 2, it's 4, 6, and 7, and that spells the word God. 1 and 2 in Chaldean says God egg. Then we go to 3, and it's 4, 5. It's the sun pass. 4, 5, 2, sun pass to Earth. 5, 2, Earth, 1/4, Fox, Sun, 55. Remember what 55 is? 7 times 6, 7 plus 6. The only time we get that is right here. The maximum any dice will be is 7. There is 7. 7 of 9 all the time. 7 of 9 all the time. No 8. Just 7. No 8. No 8, no 9. You want 8 and 9? You have to have 2 dice. And if you have 2 dice, you're going to have to bar some numbers, because I take games, and in games they bar numbers. And in games, when they show 10, they're actually talking about 0. But the only way to get to 0, okay, is to have not 5 and 5 for 0, okay, but we're going to take 6 and 4 for 0. Baccarat, blackjack shows it as 10, the other shows it as 0. Why 4 and 6? Because 55 is your split. 55 makes equality, but this makes 1.5 times. It means there's life in the center core. 5 and 5 just says 2 worlds, connecting star systems. When we go to the word 4, I get 21, which is the cube, and then I get 23, BC creation, 10-4. So when we get to 10-4, look what happens over here. The J, the jack hookup. I like to use it for the jack hookup. J, the jack, is the 11th card. It is the 10th letter. Jack spells 25 equivalent to Earth, and all zeros equal 6, giving me 7 and 4, and the first word is Jesus. And I'm telling you, I all come back. Like I said, I can do the other way around, where when I first began this, I would go that L is the 12th letter. It would equal to 36. L is the 12th letter. It would equal to 6. L is the 12th letter. It would equal to 9. Why is that? Because this one is in Pythagorean, this one is in Gematria, and this one is in numbers. L, I don't remember what it is, but R, okay, is a 2 in Chaldean, so that would be 6. Now, the reason I don't go to the 4th area, because I like to use the triangle. Going on, my back is towards the wall, and I just like to use center, left, and right. I already know what's behind me. I already need the incoming information that's coming in. Although I need to see all around, my life is all about 3. With 4, okay, with 4, I'm already seeing if we have 4, okay, and the dice cube is like this. And once I move the dice cube here is 1. Once I move the dice cube here is 2. Once I turn the dice cube here is 3. I've already seen this side. The 4th one brings me back to the beginning, and that's what we talk about the leap year. So this is what we had in Chaldean. Now, if I want to go in Gematria and use 1, and I don't know whether I have enough time, I make enough time to do this, but I would like to just add this all in and just stare at it and feel the vibration and see the differences for understanding, right? W is creation for everything. 7 times 2, 7 plus 2 equals 23. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3 equals 23. 5 times 3 is 72. Electric company win a big red sun. In no, 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 pi. Pi IQ, penis, stands over here, Q. Actually, it's the word sperm. Penis is 63, which would be S and P. Standards and poor, what is above is below, because in the number value, we switch numbers at 19, 16 and 19, S and P. So this is the basic way I do it. Now, if we want to go to blue, and blue is number 4, right? Blue is 4. And we want to switch it, we would end up with 2 in Chaldean. The U, I'm going to have to go to Chaldean and take a look. Just bear with me. Where's Chaldean up on my board here? Okay. Let me do Chaldean. And I'm going to do the word blue. So that would be 2 blue, 2 L3, 2 and 3. Hey, BC communication, 2 and 3. So that would be 2 and 3 is 5, and 6 for the U. Okay, would be 11 and 5. So that would be the half-life, and that would be blue, the life of light, because the 1 comes in through 6 and comes in through the gateway. Automatically implicating 4 and 1, because 4 and 1 create 5. So when 4 and 1 creates 5, I mean the Department of Motor Vehicles okay, or the Department of Transport to come in here with all these, bring the I, bring the J. J says I have Q, I have Earth. Epsilon, if you want to look at that, whatever that letter repeats in Greek. So my value would be 16. So instead of blue being 40, blue would be 16. So now I can bring these three values into it. Now, if I was doing it um, the other way, and I would say, well, B is a value of 6 and 2, 8, which represents the queen. Maybe queen controlling the power. I don't know. We have to throw this around. I'm just one person. This is for everybody to stand by. Like I said, if I throw all my numbers on top of each other, I'll just create just one color. If I work with the ladder system and build them up, I definitely believe that it'll give me more of a structure. Absolutely. If I say E equals to 15 plus 5 and O equals to 45, you can go the complete way around, but remember, the first time you count anything, right, you already have the major count. If you're counting like the number 3, it'd be 3 times 3 is 9. And how much is 1 times 3? Well, it's just 3. You haven't gone anywhere. So the single count, you haven't anything but the stick in your hand. So you count that stick in your hand. So when you go 3 times 3 is 9, plus the stick in your hand equals to 12, well, then 1 and 2 equals to 3 again. So up to 3, and that's it. 3 times 3 is 9, and that's the most you can go. 3 times 3, you can go 4 times 2, you can go 9 times 1, because everything else will bring you to the next level. So 9 times 1 is 9, 4 times 2 is 8, so you have 9 and 4, and 3. 3, 4, and 9 is the only way you can do it, because everything else brings you back to the beginning. And 9 plus 3 and 4 will bring you to 16, and 1 and 6 will bring you to 7. So the equivalent of all numbers and the gateway of numbers is 7. And 3 times 7 is your 21. 2 and 1 is 3, and we're back to where we began. So it's all relative to what is our end search? What are we happy with? We can do so many things. Like I said, 1 equals to 17. In Chaldean, it's giving me half the number. I don't know what it does in Pythagorean. O is 6, 6, 5. Look, O is 6, N is 5, E is 5. That's 16. So if I go Pythagorean, there's only a 1 difference. If I go Chaldean, I go Gematria. Okay, the O is 2, the N is 1, and the E is 5. I have 512 memory, equaling to 8, which is half of the 16 value in Pythagorean. 8 and 7, 7 and 8 is a 2-star system. The reason for that is because in the deck of cards, the 6, 7, and 8 are all the same cards, and the only thing that are different are the stars in the center. Crossing points. See the angle here? Here the angle here is on a cross. Here the angle here is 45. Here the angle is 45. 2 worlds meet together at the cross. I can do it this way, and we can talk a little bit different about the designs, but Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. We have a total of 6 and 3. We have a total of 5 and 4. We have a total of 7 and 2. We have a total of 8 and 1. 8 and 1 and 7 and 2. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. 2 different sides. We have everything. 5 is opposite of 2. 1 is opposite of 6. 1 is opposite of 6. 2 is opposite of 5. 5 and 6. 2 has 7 missing. 1 has 8 missing. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So on 1 dice, we have all 9 numbers. Thank you for watching this video. Wait, there's one other thing I do have to add on. That this dice over here, when you when you put both sides on one side, okay, this side is missing 40. It's all the way around, okay, the center is total 1 is 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 9, 7, 8, 9. That's a total of 40. If I had to draw this, I would have to go 1, 2, 3. Then I'd have to go over 3, 8, 6, 9. Then I have to go over 1, 4, 7. Then I have to go 7, 8, 9. So I'm counting my numbers twice. That might be another equation Remember, I create equations. From the equation, we have to create the reality that comes from in the words in multiple letter values. And I like to use French, I like to use English, I like to use Spanish if I nuance the Spanish I do know, German and sound or Chinese or what doesn't matter what it is. I'd like to have a bigger system, more people to work with to fill up all this stuff so we can just look back at the board and say, okay, will I win a lottery or will I win any of this? Do I think the gambling industry is related to this or the sports industry is related? Yes. Okay, I think that the energy in the system actually predicts winning games and winning numbers, but I'm not quick enough to figure it out, or the system before it gets here. Before it gets here, it's already told us, oh, a hockey team won. That means the code that was on the way here is on this pattern because these teams won. So now we can find the pattern because what happened to these sports teams and etc. and etc. And also the way the mind is thinking, the way everybody's mind is thinking is telling us a story because that's what the vibration is. It's a global story. Thank you for watching this video.